It's bedtime. Welcome to the world of frosty tales and more, where dreams sparkle and gentle adventures begin. Tonight's bedtime story is the story of Cinderella's lost glass shoe. Oh my! Something very important has happened at Cinderella's house. When our sweet Cinderella woke up this sunny morning, she stretched her arm and yawned a big, sleepy yawn. But wait! On her little wooden table sat one beautiful glass shoe, sparkling like diamonds. But where, oh, where was the other one? Oh dear, whispered Cinderella softly. I have lost my magical shoe. Can you help her find it, little ones? Don't worry, Cinderella, squeaked Tiny Jack in Squeaky Mouse voice, jumping onto her shoulder. Like a bouncy ball. And guess what? That little Gus wiggled his whiskers and said, We help, we help. The two mouse friends were so excited to help that they did a little dance right on Cinderella's shoulders. We search everywhere, squeaked Jack, pointing his tiny paw around the room. Together, the three friends decided to look in every corner, every crack, and every cozy spot in the whole big house. Down, down, down the creaky stairs they went to the warm kitchen. Cinderella opened every pot and every pan, looking for her missing shoe. But, oh my goodness! Poor Jack and Gus jumped right into the flower jar. When they popped out, they looked like two tiny white snowmen. Achoo! Achoo! They sneezed, shaking flour everywhere like falling snow. Cinderella giggled. You silly mice! Now you're white as sugar. But still, no glass shoe anywhere. Next, they tiptoed outside to the most beautiful garden you've ever seen. There were yellow flowers like sunshine, pink roses like cotton candy, and blue flowers like the pretty sky. Cinderella bent down to look behind every bush. She found buzzing bees, saying pss, 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 and a sleepy orange butterfly sitting on purple flowers. Excuse me, little butterfly, she whispered. Have you seen my glass shoe? But the butterfly just fluttered its wings and flew away like a dancing leaf. No shoe here either. Under the biggest, oldest tree in the whole world lived Oliver the Owl. He was so wise, with big round eyes like golden coins. Who? Hello, sweet Cinderella, said Oliver, his deep, rumbly voice. Try thinking backward, my dear child. Where did you walk yesterday? Sometimes lost things hide where we least expect them. Cinderella tapped her finger on her chin. Yesterday I went to the market and the brook and... That's it! I'll follow my steps backward. Thank you, wise Oliver. So off they went to the singing brook. The water went babble, babble, splash, like it was talking in Waterland. Pretty fish swam round and round, silver ones, golden ones, and spotted ones like polka dots. Cinderella knelt down on the soft, mossy rocks and looked very carefully. She found smooth pebbles and shiny shells, but no glass shoe. Maybe someone else has seen it, she said hopefully. The mice nodded. Yes, yes, ask everyone. Just then, 3 beautiful bluebirds came flying down. They were as blue as the summer sky and twice as cheerful. Tweet, tweet, we saw something shiny. Yesterday, sang the smallest bird in a tiny, sweet voice. It was by the old mill, sparkling and cool, the sunshine like a star. All three birds began singing the most beautiful song you've ever heard. Even the flowers seemed to dance along. Oh, thank you, dear. Birds, laughed Cinderella. Let's fly to the mill. Well, let's run to the mill. The old stone mill was covered in soft green moss, like a cozy blanket. The big wooden wheel went creak-a-creak, creak-a-creak, as it turned slowly in the bubbling water. Cinderella searched behind every stone and under every tiny white flower growing in the cracks. She found a family of ladybugs having a tea party, but still no glass shoe. Don't give up, Cinderella, squeaked Gus. We find it, we find it! And mice were such good friends, always cheering her on. The village marketplace was so busy and colorful. There were red apples shiny as Christmas balls, yellow bananas curved like smiles, and purple grapes hanging in bunches. People everywhere were calling fresh bread, beautiful flowers, tasty treats. Cinderella walked through the crowd, looking left and right. Yesterday I came here to buy thread, she remembered. Maybe I dropped my shoe near the baker's shop. Let's go see Mr. Bredworth. Mr. Bredworth was the best baker in the whole wide world. He had flour in his gray beard and a big, warm smile. His shop smelled like cinnamon cookies and vanilla cakes. Ho, ho, ho. Hello, sweet Cinderella. He laughed, his belly shaking like a bowl of jelly. I haven't seen your glass shoe, my dear, but take this warm blueberry muffin for your journey. He wrapped it in brown paper with a pretty string. Thank you, kind Mr. Bredworth. Cinderella smiled. Sometimes kindness tastes like muffins. Mrs. Petalworth's flower stall was like a rainbow explosion. Red roses, yellow sunflowers, purple petals everywhere. She was as sweet as her flowers. Oh yes, dear child. Yesterday you stopped to smell my white jasmine flowers. They smell like heaven, don't they? Then you hurried toward the village fountain. She handed Cinderella a single pink rose. For good luck, my sweet girl. Cinderella's heart felt warm like sunshine. Thank you. Off to the fountain we go. The marble fountain sparkled and danced in the sunlight. Children had thrown shiny copper pennies into the water to make wishes. Cinderella knelt down and looked into the clear, bubbling water. She could see her own reflection looking back at her. I wish I could find my glass shoe, she whispered to the fountain. But even though the fountain granted many wishes, today it only had pennies and sparkles, no glass shoe. We keep looking, squeaked Jack bravely. Near the playground, a little girl named Emma came running over. She had the curliest brown hair and the biggest smile. Miss, is this yours? She called, holding up something blue and shiny. Cinderella's heart jumped with hope, but when she looked closer, it was just a pretty piece of sea glass, smooth and beautiful. It's lovely, Emma, but not mine. Thank you for being so helpful. Even when things aren't what we hope, kindness always makes us smile. Inside the cobbler's shop, it smelled like leather and polish. Mr. Heel and Toe was fixing shoes with his tiny hammer, tap, tap, tap. He scratched his shiny bald head and thought very hard. A glass shoe, you say? How magical and unusual. I work with leather and cloth, but glass. Perhaps try the seamstress, Mrs. Needlepoint. She sees everything from her window. Thank you, called Cinderella, already heading out the door with hope in her heart. Mrs. Needlepoint's shop was a wonderland of colors. Red silk, green velvet, golden satin everywhere. She wore tiny spectacles and had nimble fingers that never stopped moving. "Oh, my stars!" she exclaimed, looking up from her work. "Yesterday evening I saw a flash of light near the old wishing well. It caught the sunset like a mirror." Her eyes twinkled with excitement. "It might have been your magical shoe, dear child." Cinderella's heart raced. The wishing well. The ancient wishing well was covered in green ivy and tiny white flowers like stars. Cinderella leaned over very carefully and peered down, down, down into the dark depths. She could see her own face reflected in the water far below, but no glass shoe anywhere. The well seemed to whisper secrets in the breeze, but it kept its mysteries to itself today. Maybe the forest animals have seen it, she wondered aloud. Let's ask them. Into the magical forest they went. Tall trees reached up, up, up to the sky like giant green umbrellas. Squirrels chattered, chatter, chatter from the branches above. A woodpecker went rat-a-tat-tat on an old pine tree, making music with his beak. The path was soft with fallen leaves that crunched under Cinderella's feet. "Hello, forest," she called sweetly. "Have any of you seen my glass shoe?" The forest seemed to whisper back, "Follow the path, follow the path." In a sunny meadow full of wildflowers lived a beautiful deer family. Mama Deer was graceful as a dancer. Papa Deer stood strong and proud, and Baby Deer had the sweetest spotted coat. They looked up with their big, kind brown eyes when Cinderella approached. "Excuse me, gentle deer family," she whispered. "Have you seen my glass shoe?" Mama Deer turned her elegant head toward a patch of purple violets near a mossy log, as if to say, "Look there, sweet child. Animals are such wonderful helpers." By a cozy rabbit hole decorated with tiny mushrooms lived Ruby Rabbit. She had the softest brown fur and the pinkest nose you've ever seen. Oh, I saw something sparkle yesterday," she said, thumping her back foot with excitement. "Thump, thump, thump. Follow the trail of white clover flowers. They'll lead you on an adventure." Ruby was so excited she did 3 happy bunny hops. "Thank you, dear Ruby," laughed Cinderella. "You're such a good friend." Oh, my stars! The forest clearing was filled with hundreds and hundreds of butterflies. Orange ones like flying pumpkins, blue ones like pieces of sky, tiny yellow ones like dancing sunbeams. They swirled around Cinderella like a rainbow tornado of wings. She spun slowly in a circle, arms out wide, laughing with pure joy. "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," she whispered. But even in this magical place, no glass shoe. The butterflies seemed to dance her toward the next adventure. From under an enormous tree stump came the wisest creature in the forest, Old Badger. His face had black and white stripes like a mask, and his eyes twinkled with ancient wisdom. "Hello, young seeker," he rumbled in his deep voice. "Lost things often return to where they're most needed. Think with your heart, child. Where does your heart feel happiest?" Cinderella put her hand over her heart and thought very, very hard. Where did she feel happiest? As the sun painted the sky with pink and orange and purple stripes, Cinderella walked slowly home. Her shoulders drooped just a little with sadness, but Jack and Gus rode on her shoulders, trying to cheer her up with tiny mouse songs. Fireflies began to twinkle like fallen stars in the darkening trees. "Maybe tomorrow," she whispered hopefully. "Maybe tomorrow we'll find it. Sometimes the best adventures happen when we don't give up hope." At home, Cinderella's stepsisters were getting ready for the royal ball. One sister wore a bright green dress with so many ruffles she looked like a lettuce. The other wore shocking pink with bows everywhere. She looked like a giant present. More powder, more jewels, more, more, more! they demanded, spinning in front of mirrors. Poor Cinderella tiptoed quietly past them to her little attic room. They were too busy to notice her sad face. In her cozy little attic room, Cinderella sat on her simple bed and looked at the one lonely glass shoe on her nightstand. Outside her window, the first stars began to twinkle in the deep blue evening sky. "I searched everywhere," she whispered to the shoe. "Where could your partner be?" The mice curled up beside her, their tiny hearts full of love for their dear friend. Sometimes when we're sad, the love of good friends is the best magic of all. Suddenly, whoosh! Sparkles of silver and gold filled the little room like falling stars. Cinderella gasped as her fairy godmother appeared in a shower of glittering light. She wore a dress that shimmered like moonlight on water, and her wand sparkled with a bright silver star. "My dear sweet child," said Fairy Godmother, with the kindest voice in all the world, "why do you look so sad on this magical evening? Magic was coming. Can you feel it?" "Oh, Fairy Godmother," sighed Cinderella, "I've lost one of my beautiful glass shoes, and the royal ball is tonight." Fairy Godmother's eyes twinkled like stars as she smiled the wisest smile. "Sometimes, my precious child, we must lose something special to learn how truly precious it was. But tell me, what did you discover on your search today?" Cinderella thought about all the friends who had helped her, all the kindness she'd received. Fairy Godmother's voice grew warm like a cozy fireplace. "The real magic, sweet Cinderella, was never in the glass shoes. It was in your kind heart that made friends everywhere you went, your brave spirit that never gave up, your gentle soul that brought joy to everyone you met." Cinderella's eyes grew wide with understanding. "The magic was inside me all along. Always, my dear child. Always." The room filled with warm, golden light from Cinderella's own beautiful heart. With a wave of her star-tipped wand, Fairy Godmother created the most amazing sight. Not just one pair of shoes, but many. Silver slippers that sparkled like starlight, golden sandals that gleamed like sunshine, and, yes, perfect crystal glass shoes that chimed like tiny silver bells. "Choose with your heart, dear one," whispered Fairy Godmother. Cinderella clapped her hands with joy. "They're all beautiful, but I choose the glass shoes because they remind me of today's magical adventure." Then Fairy Godmother raised her wand high, high, high above her head. Sparkles swirled like a tornado of stars around Cinderella. Her simple dress transformed into the most magnificent ball gown, sky blue silk decorated with silver stars that twinkled like the night sky. "But remember," said Fairy Godmother with gentle love, "true beauty comes from kindness, and real magic comes from believing in yourself." Cinderella felt beautiful inside and out. As the golden carriage rolled toward the sparkling castle, Cinderella waved goodbye to all her wonderful friends. The mice in their little coachman uniforms, the bluebirds flying alongside, singing their sweet songs, Ruby Rabbit hopping excitedly, the wise animals from the forest. Thank you all," she called happily. She had learned that the greatest treasure isn't what we find, but the friends we make and the love we share along the way. And that, dear little ones, is the most magical discovery of all. The end.